Shwmai, croeso Gwerth Gwlan. Hello and welcome to Gwerth Gwlan. My name is Debby Mercer and I am a third year BA Liberal Arts student here at UWTSD Lampeter. For my dissertation, I have put on an exhibition looking at the value of wool, past, present and future. There are rules to my exhibition because this is an interactive exhibition. The idea is that people have a tactile experience and it helps them to remember and engage with Welsh wool. So you have to touch everything, take lots of photos and share them wherever you like and with whoever you like, and be noisy, have fun, laugh, ask questions, and don't be afraid. Sheep are a really important part of our society. In fact, without sheep, some of the biggest cities of early times would not have existed. Before sheep, people used to grow their textiles, things like hemp and flax and nettles. But once you've got sheep that can live on practically air, all of that growing ground can go towards making food. With more food, you can have more people. More people means craft specialization, and that's what creates cities. Part of this exhibit is also these amazing cards called tup trumps. These showcase the 72 native breeds of sheep that we have on the British Isles and their fleecy qualities. Along with the tup trumps, there's also wool here for people to handle and take home. Put it in your pocket, take it with you. And then maybe in a few days' time, when you put your hand back in your pocket and find the wool, you'll think, oh yeah, I remember now, I went to that place and I learned a lot about wool and how important wool was, not just for the past, but for now as well. So, we've shared our sheep and got our wool. What next? Well, to turn that wool into yarn, we'll have to spin it. Drop spindles are the original technology. Long before men were playing around with stones and flint, women were spinning yarn with their sticks. It's an important part of women's work, because not only were textiles really important for the home and for sale and for the economy, but this kind of thing can also be done alongside the other daily chores around the house, including looking after the chickens, the kitchen garden, and the children. So now we have our yarn, what to do with it next? Nowadays we think of knitting and crochet, but back in the past they would have been spending their time weaving, and traditionally they would have used a warp-weighted loom. The warp-weighted loom came about with sheep wool being used because the stickiness of the wool allows the warp to be held upright. Woolen material was incredibly important in the ancient times. The Vikings could never have conquered the North Atlantic without their wool. It takes about 100,000 hours to make enough textiles for a single Viking warship, and there were hundreds of thousands of Viking warships. So without those textiles and without those sheep, the Vikings could never have conquered the North Atlantic and become the fierce force that we know them as today. Wool was manufactured in the way I've shown you for thousands of years, but textiles played an important role in the Industrial Revolution. Wool still dominated in Wales, and the Teifi Valley was no exception. There were hundreds of mills all along the Teifi Valley taking their power from the river. However, the glory days of the Teifi Valley only lasted for a few short decades. By the 1920s, some of the largest mills had stopped production. By 1957, there were just these few mills remaining. And by 1964, only 7 of those remained in production, and 2 of them were museums. However, organisations such as the Welsh Mill Society help current mill owners with research, conservation and restoration. So there is still a chance for those water-powered mills, even if they're not doing anything commercial, to exist and be celebrated. But all is not lost for Welsh wool. There are plenty of non-textile uses that are currently being explored that will enable us to add worth to this amazing product. New fiberglass products, including chairs and furniture with wool as their primary base, are being developed. Wool insulation is being used, so wool is no longer just for keeping you warm, but also for keeping your homes warm. And the Biocomposite Centre, based at Bangor University, is working on new biocomposite uses for wool, including breaking that wool down into its keratin and reforming it into new products that can be stable and biodegradable. We've got lots of interactive elements here at Gwerth Gwlan, including this fantastic wool sack for sitting on and lying down on, and this amazing VR headset, which gives you a 360 experience of a woolen mill and of sheep on the mountains, provided by Gwerth Gwlan, made with wool. The first development after the spindle to the spinning wheel that we recognise today was the great wheel, or the walking wheel. Historians estimate that women would have walked between 15 and 20 miles a day, just spinning their yarn.